guys back to work. You know, SHA should have some maps. DNR up here should have a big map. Tell them to take it off the damn
wall if they have to.
Okay.
Ready? Governor, can you just talk about what, as you are entering Garrett County, what was your impression when you saw the snow, down trees, maybe some down power lines?
Well, it's very evident that we suffered a huge snowfall with really heavy snow. I mean, you look at how many trees were bent over, how many trees have been knocked down, and how many power lines those trees fell on top of. So we have massive power outages in Garrett County, and that condition's been persisting for the last 2 or 3 days. The low cloud covers made it impossible for the utilities to fly the lines with a helicopter until yesterday. I believe that they're making some headway in identifying where their main breaks are in terms of the large transmission lines, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to get some of those breaks addressed today. Our primary concern right now is for senior citizens who are living alone and been surviving on their own, oftentimes trapped for these last 3 days, perhaps running out of their medications, perhaps running out of food, and very likely been without power and very cold. So we're doing a lot of wellness checks. We've identified not only the places where senior citizens live together in group homes and the nursing homes and assisted living, but also in particular, as you heard the gentleman briefing in there, the 300 seniors who are most vulnerable because they do live alone and off in isolated areas, like the grandma that we just spoke with who was down in Swallowed Falls and had to be assisted by the National Guard, for whom she had nothing but great praise. So that's what we're doing right now. Our primary concern is the health and well-being of senior citizens who are living alone and in isolated areas. And so those well-being checks, those wellness checks are going to continue. And we're prioritizing the road blockages. And we have a lot of crews that have already converged here. SHA's been out with plows and trucks that they've brought from all over the state clearing the roads. But they can only clear so far before they run into fallen trees, and then we need the chainsaws. So we have a lot of volunteers. The Mennonite community's been stepping up. We have DNR, and they are en route with every chainsaw crew. Commissioner, you're free to come up here if you like. Okay. Every chainsaw crew that they have available to get in here and open up the roads so we can get Garrett County back to normal.
Governor, I've been hearing that some of the county road crews are down in manpower from what they were several years ago, partly because of the money being diverted from the Highway Trust Fund to other purposes, and in fact they had to bring over workers from Garrett County roads to help with Allegheny County roads to help with the Garrett County roads today. What kind of reassurance can you give them that things are going to improve?
Yeah, look, there's the question I think that the question that I think all of us naturally ask in circumstances like this is how much less emergency response you think would be good for Garrett County? How much less funding you think would be good for our roads? How much more? How many fewer crews do we really need in order to respond to the more violent weather events? If the answer to those questions is that we don't need less, we need more, then of course we all need to make better decisions so that we have what we need in order to be strong together. That larger question will be one that we continue to debate in other times. Right now, without question, people of Garrett County are hurting and they need help wherever they can get it. And that's what's happening right now. In any situation like this, a snowfall the likes of which we probably haven't seen since 1974, then you call on mutual aid from all around you in order to alleviate the emergency. And that's what we're doing right now, and that's what we're going to be focused on. And I'm glad to have the other conversations about why it would be that I would propose a penny increase in the gas tax in order to better fund our needs. But those are questions that are probably best left for another time. It's not for lack of trying.
You went to Chrisfield yesterday, you've been here today, you've been all over the state. The assessment of the damages that you've seen and just the superstorm Sandy.
Yeah, we've been America's weather disaster in miniature these last couple of days. So we saw a lot of inundation in the coastal areas, Crisfield being the hardest hit. The dollars that we invested over the years for the beach replenishment program and the dunes in Ocean City really saved Ocean City. I mean, they had conditions that were not unlike the conditions we saw in Hurricane Gloria, but the boardwalk was saved about $600 million in losses because of those investments we made in the sand dunes and the beach replenishment. In Garrett County, it was a weather crisis of a different type. It was this huge, very, very wet snowfall that's also blanketed all of so many counties in West Virginia as well. So we are digging out from this. In some of the high winds actually spared some of the more populated areas of the Washington suburbs. Northeast Maryland got whacked really hard by the high winds and the down power lines. But right now, our county with the largest number of citizens in need is Garrett County, where we have some 15,000 households that are still without electric power, and that's only down slightly from the 18,000 that it was 3 days ago. So our primary concern right now is bringing in every asset that we can to alleviate this emergency in Garrett County. Our whole state, in my mind, has become Garrett County for the next 48 hours until we alleviate this emergency.
Governor,
would you give a message to our residents that are out there in the cold right now, and what the governor of the state would say to them while they're shivering there waiting for their power to come back?
Sure. What I would like to, and I think I speak for the commissioners and all the mayors as well, what we want people to know is that we know you're out there and we're working to get to you. And this is a big event, but not bigger than we are when we pull together. So we are working on it. Things are progressing, and things will get better. They need to hang in, and what we also need for them to do. And this would be a good time to advertise that phone line. Can you go in and check with Alicia and bring back that phone line so that seniors can let us know that they're okay? So the main message is this. The main message is not to give up. There's a lot of people working, and we are attacking this situation, and things are starting to get better, and we will get to them. And we'll have a number that we hope you all will put out there. If you're a senior that's living alone and you still have cell phone service or something, you can check in and let us know you're okay. That would narrow that group of citizens that we still need to reach that we haven't been able to make contact with yet.
And can you just talk about the kind of job emergency services and the officials in Garrett County have been doing so far as dealing with all this?
Sure. We've all come together as one team now, and we have people here from the State Emergency Operations Center. In fact, we've, in essence, moved our operational headquarters for the Maryland Emergency Management Agency to Garrett County until this emergency is alleviated. Joe Bricado is our top operations guy for Maryland Emergency Management, and right now he's all about Garrett County Emergency Management. And so we have a lot of first responders who've been working around the clock, getting no sleep, and doing some courageous and Herculean work to make sure that we don't lose any lives in this huge blizzard-like and very wet snow that's knocked down so many trees and power lines.
Governor, how would you compare the situation here versus expectations for Garrett County versus what you saw on the Eastern Shore and your expectations there prior to Sandy coming?
Well, we knew this big snow was coming. So I think that we knew the snow was coming. I think that there's a surprise in this snow. It's just how very, very heavy it was and how very, very damaging it therefore has been to the trees and the power lines. This was not a light snow. This was a very, very heavy snow. Alicia, do you have that phone number that seniors might check in?
Yes, the phone number has not been established yet, but it will be established in the next hour or so, and we will get that out through the channels. It's being established as we speak.
Okay, sorry guys.
Sorry about that.
So we'll have to send you an email, and
yes.
Within the next how long?
Hour and a half.
We'll have a hotline number set
yes.
up.
Governor, what's the timeline? What have you heard from Potomac Edison in terms of getting power restored to the area?
There's a couple of big breaks in in one of the large transmission lines. And one of those breaks they repaired yesterday and got some people back on. They're working on the second one right now. And we're hopeful that with the repair of that second break in the transmission line that we may be able to power up, from 5,000 to 7,000 people with that one repair. And then we're going to be down to the feeders and the substations. I'm not sure, I can't speak definitively about the good repair of the substations. I believe once they're powered, I think they're okay. I don't want to say anything that I don't know for sure. The hope is that the substations are not damaged and that with the repair of that transmission line, that'll juice both of them back up. So the food chain kind of goes transmission line to substation to the feeders.
And you mentioned that we're going to see more storms like this. So what's the plan moving forward?
Well, we're going to see increasingly more violent storms, and therefore we all have to make better choices and be willing to make smarter and greater investments in that infrastructure that keeps us warm in the cold and that enables us to respond to big emergencies. So whether it's building codes at coastal areas or whether it's grid resiliency in mountain areas, it's all about making our infrastructure stronger so that we can withstand the more violent weather events that our heating of the climate is causing.
We have a lot of part-time residents here that aren't here now. They're sporadic throughout our county. So what would be a better way for them, maybe through your office or anything you can give them to know when it's going to be okay to possibly come here and check on their residences?
Well, I think
just an ongoing progression of real-time data of where are we at in the county.
Yeah,
because
well,
right now everybody's looking at an Allegheny power map that tells them Garrett County's out of power. I mean, that's what you get. So we want to know better resources.
Most people are communicating through cell phone towers. They're checking the internet on their smartphones to see what the updates are.
Right. Well, we will soon have, I think the best thing would be for, soon we'll be able to have a map up, hopefully by the end of today, and I'll talk to Barney about that, of Garrett County that'll show you what roads are open and which ones are still blocked. And that's what we're working on right now. And that website is www.maryland.gov. And you can go on to the Maryland Emergency Management site. Probably we'll put it on
There's
Osprey.
maps on that site.
Yes, sir. Yeah, probably put it on Osprey, which is the common platform for situational awareness and emergencies.
Nathan, we'll likewise keep updates on our website as well, obviously, because these are people who can access our website, not Garrett Countyans. But there may be some Garrett Countyans who can still access it as well.
It's kind of been the biggest thing is we've been trying to keep in touch with press releases and.
That's the biggest problem we've had here.
We're going to work on that today, and now that the MEMA team's here, I think we can accomplish that much easier.
And it's a roadmap. Roadmap with blockages and what's not blocked.
Okay.
Is that what you want?
Yes, that's exactly what.
A big one. Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Governor.
Hey, thank you.